Welcome to week 4, Rebuilding After the Rubble. You ever seen a newscast after a tornado? What they show is, after a tornado, the news cameras always pan across the wreckage. Homes reduced to splinters, schools flattened, cars flipped. And yet, if you stay tuned, you'll see something else. People with hard hats, gloves, and what they're doing is beginning to rebuild. They don't start with the whole city. They start with one wall, one board, one nail at a time. See, life has torn some of us down like that. Divorce, layoffs, health crisis, betrayal. Suddenly, the life we knew is rubble, and rubble feels overwhelming. Where do you even begin when you're starting at what used to be? The temptation is to walk away, to give up. But God specializes in rebuilding broken pieces. How do I know this? In Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 20, it says, "The God of heaven will help us succeed. We are his servants. We start rebuilding." See, Nehemiah stood before broken walls and burned gates. What looked impossible became a project of faith. Notice he didn't say, "I will rebuild." He said, "We will rebuild." Rebuilding is always a community project, and God promises to help. As someone who's had to rebuild amid the rubble, collapse isn't the end. With God's help, rubble can become the foundation for restoration. And here's what I've discovered. There are 3 anchors for rebuilding. Number 1, face the ruins honestly. Don't pretend the rubble isn't there. Grieve what was lost. You can't rebuild what you refuse to acknowledge. And then secondly, after facing the ruins honestly, number 2, catch God's vision. Nehemiah prayed. He fasted before he picked up a brick. Rebuilding begins with God's plan, not just your own effort. Then finally, after catching God's vision, rebuild together. Every family, every priest, every worker had a section of the wall. Don't try to rebuild your life in isolation. One brick by itself won't stop an enemy, but lay brick upon brick and soon you'll have a wall. Your next step may feel small, praying again, making one phone call, applying for one job, but brick by brick, it all adds up. See, when our church had to sell our building, I remember walking through empty halls, hearing my footsteps echo off the wall. It felt like failure. But God reminded me his church was never a building. It was people. That season of rubble became the soil where Mars Here Anywhere was born, reaching further than we had imagined. We felt like the end was really the beginning. So this week, I want you to write down one area of your life that feels like rubble. Then write one small step you can take this week to rebuild that area. Don't list 20 steps, just one. Share it with someone you trust and ask them to hold you accountable. Let me pray for you. God, we hand you the rubble of our lives. Help us grieve what's been lost, see what you're building, and take the next step. Surround us with people who will build beside us, strengthen our hands, and remind us that with you, nothing is wasted. In Jesus' name, amen. See, the rubble may look final, but God sees a future. Pick up your brick this week. The wall will rise again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.